1499 in the name of Assembly Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. I believe that my initial written question has been answered in the previous exchanges, so I'd like to go straight to supplementaries. You yourself, Mayor, have said that there are legitimate concerns about this right to buy policy. Assembly Member Knight and Assembly Member Copley have both raised a number of serious concerns and flaws. Will you ask your officers here at City Hall for an assessment of the impact that it's likely to have on your affordable housing programme?
As you can imagine, we're hard at work now, Darren, on ensuring that we are able to continue to accelerate the delivery of affordable homes across London. And
that's a good answer, but it's not an answer to the question I have.
We're meeting constantly to accelerate house building in this city. One of the ways I think that we can make. Hang on a minute. Don't forget. You've asked what my officers and I are doing. One of the things that we've got going now is the London Land Commission, putting together much of the publicly owned land and accelerating the housing associations' ability to deliver on those sites, and I'm full of optimism about what can be achieved. If you look at the numbers that we're building at the moment, 7 or 8 years ago, when the economy went off a cliff, everybody was saying London would fail to deliver. Actually, look at what we have delivered already. Look at the record, folks. Look at the number of homes that we've built. Look at the number of homes being built now. Compare it, by the way, to the deficit in affordable homes left by the last Labour Mayor and the last Labour government. We've added to the body of affordable homes, and we're going to continue to do so.
You're absolutely all over the place on this, aren't you? You just said then you're full of optimism. A few minutes ago, in answer to one of the other questions, you said there were legitimate concerns. Can you actually sort this out by asking your officers by commissioning a proper assessment?
Look at what we have achieved in the face of the difficulties that we've already had to face.
Mr. Mayor, we're not able to hear the question.
Well, there wasn't.
So can you get the question first?
The question is, will you actually put this issue to bed by asking your officers to publish a proper assessment of the likely impact of this new right to buy policy, so that we can all scrutinise it, we can all look at it, we can all discuss it? Because at the moment you're all over the place on this issue. You're not coherent.
I think you're all over the place, and what you fail to acknowledge is that in the last 7 years we've delivered an astonishing number of new homes for the city in spite of a massive financial crunch. We will continue to make this policy and other policies work for Londoners. And before we publish any assessments, I think the crucial thing would be to make sure we have a policy that works for our city. Yes, I want to see housing association tenants given the same freedoms, the same opportunities as council home tenants. That's the right way forward, but I want to do it in such a way as to deliver more homes. And in fact, I hope that's a policy you can support.
You're not answering.
Well, what I want to see is a proper assessment of the likely impact, and I want a commitment from you as Mayor on this with your housing responsibilities. Don't interrupt. With your housing responsibilities, and you're not just a random backbencher on this. You have serious executive responsibilities for delivery of social and affordable housing in London. Are you going to commission an assessment from City Hall officers on the likely impact?
It would be utterly nonsensical to publish an assessment of a policy that is still in the process of being worked out. When we have ironed it out to our satisfaction, then of course we'll publish projections about what we think it will do. But this is still a paragraph in a manifesto that is very promising, but needs to be worked out.
Right, so let me just check. This could be what I'm hearing then is a commitment that first you will be lobbying government to try and mitigate any damaging impacts, and then secondly, once you've done that, you will then commission an assessment from City Hall officers of the likely impacts of the government's policy.
What we will do is drive forward the building of more homes for Londoners, which we've done over the last 7 years.
So the usual rhetoric then, nothing but the usual rhetoric.
Well, as and when we have worked out how the right to buy for housing association tenants will actually work in practice, and we are still some way off that.
Okay,
Of course, you can expect GLA officials to produce an assessment of how many more homes we will be able to build. Of course.
Okay, thank you. But